he does now feel like Harry is no longer a Windsor. He doesn't feel like his brother is part of the family because of the disgusting, shocking, terrible things that Harry has done. And I don't blame William for saying that he never wants to speak to him again. I don't blame William for trying to protect Catherine, the Princess of Wales, who Harry treated so appallingly, as did Meghan, with the leaking of their private WhatsApp messages. And I also don't blame William for wanting Prince Harry to have nothing to do with his 3 children, including the future king, Prince George, because he knows that Harry will feed a whole load of toxic information into their head about the royal family. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't think William has done anything wrong by thrusting Harry out of the family and saying, no, you're no longer a Windsor, because he hasn't acted like a Windsor. Breaking right now, no longer a Windsor. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been banished by the royals as his late mother Diana's family, the Spencers, rally around the estranged Duke. Now, this is a revelation that has come from Paul Burrell. Very interesting guy, of course. He was Princess Diana's butler for many years, her rock, but has since fallen out significantly with both Prince William and Prince Harry. However, he has claimed that Harry is simply no longer a Windsor when he visits the UK because the Duke's other family open him with welcome arms and without hesitation. He says that while in the UK, Harry's natural place to visit is their Althorpe estate in Northamptonshire, where Diana is buried. He believes the Spencer family have put their arms around Harry and want to protect him, adding, when he goes through the doors at Althorpe, he becomes a Spencer like his mother. To them, they feel he's been abandoned by the royal family, and so his natural place to visit when he returns to the UK is their Althorpe House estate in Northamptonshire. It's where Diana's final resting place is too, so it gives Harry a great deal of comfort to be there, especially given the ongoing conflict with his brother and father. Angela, I'm sorry, I have a real issue with this. This is Angela Levin, by the way, Prince Harry's biographer, our royal mastermind. Thank you. Great to have you back, Angela. But I have a real issue with this because, as far as I'm concerned, the Spencers are doing this for their own reasons, and it takes into account not for one single second what Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have done to the royal family. So Harry and Meghan haven't attacked the Spencers in a best-selling book. They haven't gone on Oprah Winfrey and said that there's a secret racist operating within the Spencer family. Of course, the Spencer family have a different relationship with Prince Harry. And I also find this constant lionizing of Charles Spencer, Diana's brother, who gave that very memorable eulogy at her funeral, pretty damn galling, given that he had fallen out with Princess Diana before her death.
Yes. I mean, when she was very, very depressed and she was no longer with Charles, she did ask him if she could stay and live in a cottage on his the many.
And what was his
years.
answer, Angela?
His answer was no.
No. I don't want the hassle. I don't want to have to deal with the security and all of the attention.
And he pushed her away when she was really at her lowest. Well, I can't think very well of him at that occasion, particularly when he did speak at the funeral, when he said that he's going to look after Harry because they have the same blood and he's going to make sure that they're okay. But he hasn't really done that. And actually, Harry hasn't really wanted that either, frankly. I mean, a little while ago, a few months ago, he invited Harry to stay overnight or for 2 or 3 days. He was coming up for one of the court issues, and he said, no, thank you. So they're not close at all. And I don't think that that's quite right. I mean, there might be something there that's true, but when the king has said that he can stay at one of the royal buildings, he said no and gone off to a hotel. So that doesn't mean that he's been shut out. Quite the contrary. It's just saying that you know, this is what we've got for you, and it's very secure because there are people there all the time looking after it. But Harry says, it's not secure enough. Now, I bet you that there are not a whole load of people there looking after Harry at some hotel, because it won't make any sense. People will go there. You'll have loads of journalists out there and photographers. So he sort of creeps in there without having protection. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have it, but it does get away with that a bit. So I don't think that there's very much there that he feels.
Yeah, and that's from Charles's point of view, absolutely. But Angela, I would argue from Prince William's point of view and Catherine's point of view, he does now feel like Harry is no longer a Windsor. He doesn't feel like his brother is part of the family because of the disgusting, shocking, terrible things that Harry has done. And I don't blame William for saying that he never wants to speak to him again. I don't blame William for trying to protect Catherine, the Princess of Wales, who Harry treated so appallingly, as did Meghan, with the leaking of their private WhatsApp messages. And I also don't blame William for wanting Prince Harry to have nothing to do with his 3 children, including the future king, Prince George, because he knows that Harry will feed a whole load of toxic information into their head about the royal family. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't think William has done anything wrong by thrusting Harry out of the family and saying, no, you're no longer a Windsor, because he hasn't acted like a Windsor.
Well, I think if you can do with brothers what you can't necessarily do as father and son, I think he can have any relationship with his brother. But I think it's much harder for the king to do that, his son. But the other thing that's really ghastly is that Harry said that on television, that one of the great things he's aiming at is to bring up the children of William and Catherine, not so much Prince George, because he knows that his life has been sorted out, but the other 2. And the reason he wants to do that is that he wants to tell them how to manage being not used as a top royal person. So not taking into account that those 2 children, Louis and Charlotte, are very different from him. That doesn't take into it, but he's going to make that of one of his absolutely most important aims. Now, what would anybody do if they think this very, very difficult man, I'm being polite there, wants to do that to their children? Nobody sees his children. Nobody has any contact with his children. You just see the back of their head if you're lucky. And so why would he allow Harry to have anything to do with them whatsoever? And if he put on one of his phony sort of chattings and smiling and laughing, which possibly there is a bit left, you don't want to risk it. You have to protect your children. And what they've done with their children, you can tell that they're delightful, that they're very behaved when necessary. Louis, is a difference because he was so small. Now he's much more behaved. And you can't allow it. You have to make sure that it's safe. So, and also absolutely that what he said about William's wife, I think you can hold on to unhappiness and anger of someone saying something about you much more than you can know that what someone has done to your wife or your husband. I think other people's pain becomes much, much yours, because it is awful that you think that you've been there when your partner has had to go through that. It's just not on.
Yeah, I agree, Angela. I do agree. But as I say, I'm not going to say anything negative about the fact that William has thrust Harry out. I'm really not. I think he totally deserves it. I think he was warned. Angela, what's also been really interesting to me this week is 2 of the Daily Mail's most senior female columnists, including one who used to be a massive ally of Meghan Markle, have turned on her very viciously. So I'm going to get to the Liz Jones column in just a moment, but let's start with this from Jan Moi, who wrote how Meghan wormed her way into what she's described as the Montecito femme mafia and relegated Harry to a life on the sidelines. She's revealed the Duchess's brazen tactics to break into this elite sisterhood, which includes Gwyneth Paltrow, Jennifer Aniston, and Oprah Winfrey. So what do you make of this, Angela? This Montecito femme mafia, and has Meghan Markle, after a very rocky start, now been accepted after Gwyneth Paltrow sort of reversed her earlier criticism of her to invite her into that Instagram video?
No, I think she's just going down and down and down, because the more she does, the more people see how dreadful it is, and it's so many different areas. And I think people don't like it if they know that somebody is rubbishing their family in public so often. Somebody who really is me endlessly. It's all about her, and who is a phony. She might hug you, but she doesn't really mean it, because she needs you for the next cake she's making. It's, you see right through someone. And I've been shocked to see how she's gone down as a decent human being. And she's got less and less interested in anybody else. She doesn't want to know their stories. You've seen that time and time again now. It's just me. And I think a lot of the people who she's tried to be part of the gang with are also people who want to do me's, but they haven't got as many as her. So it is not going to work so well. They might have two me work like what they want to aim at, but she wants, a whole string of them, because she is more than wonderful in every possible way.
And then Liz Jones is probably even more interesting, because Liz Jones was for a long time one of the only mainstream columnists in the right-wing media in the UK that supported Meghan Markle. But she has turned, and she has described this unsettling flogging of clothes worn by Princess Charlotte and Prince George as something that has revealed the truth everyone has missed about Meghan Markle. Let me just read you a short part of this column, Angela, before I get you to react. She says, "No, this isn't about what Meghan loves and has in the closet. It's yet another way to milk any remaining thread of connection she has with the royal family, to smear herself, not with com hop, but with class. I expect Harry hates all the twee stuff, having once longed to grow out of the sort of smock bodiced gear that has been the royal go-to for generations, to kick off his proper leather trotter shoes and put on trainers. Yet there are so many other brands making children's wear that Meghan could curate instead of merely copy. Zara, Maury, Monsoon, Lali London, Babushkini, Organic Zoo. I mean, I obviously haven't heard any of these places. Her online shop is a new low for Team Sussex, rendering her just one of millions of stay-at-home influencer mums who preferred to avoid doing any real work. So Liz Jones has well and truly turned, Angela.
Yes. I mean, Harry told me, spent a while telling me that one of the things he most hated, he adored his mother, but he most hated that the clothes she made him wear, she hated them. She hated being smart and whatever suit he had to do. And when he had a little sailor's uniform, he absolutely loathed it. Well, I think nowadays, young children are even more fussy about what they wear. They have their own decision making quite early. And I think the little dress that Charlotte looked so gorgeous in when she was 4, I think a lot of 4-year-olds now wouldn't buy them, because they're very youngish and girly. And what they want to look like is somebody who's much older and will actually think that they're cool. But I think that I think a lot of children hate what their parents or their mothers make them want to wear. But I think that Meghan is actually being spiteful and nasty to use all this that is British. It's just trying to, as I said, I think I've said to you before, that she is very, very cunning at making comments that actually she gets away with, which are really revolting. But somehow she figures with them that she can get away with it. And this is the same thing as trying to sell a little girl's dress or a pair of boys' pajamas, that she knows that it will really annoy them. But actually, whoa, what I'm only doing, London clothes or British clothes, that's nothing. You can't do anything with. And I think she's brilliant at that. Very few people can do that. Be absolutely horrible without actually saying anything. I think that's what she's done, really. And it's ghastly, isn't it? It's an awful. She doesn't have to do that. There's plenty of shops to buy all over the place. And she's doing this deliberately in the UK to say part of her way of getting her own back. It's cunningness beyond anything most people could do.
Angela, you want to call out what you say is a big fat lie from Meghan Markle on stage at the Time 100 event this week. So just before you do, let's take a look at one of the relevant parts of this interview. I say interview, it wasn't really an interview, it was like a fan Q&A. But this is when Meghan claims that she is the happiest she has ever been. But first, we've been told our whole lives that wrinkle creams were the easiest way to look younger. Now, one doctor says that's nothing but old news. According to Dr. John Lake, the world-renowned Beverly Hills beauty expert, most wrinkle fixes on the market are nothing but glorified moisturizers. They hardly make a dent on your appearance, and some can even be harmful to your skin, he said. Recently, Dr. Lake has focused his attention away from mainstream cosmetic practices. Why? Well, so that he can pursue a revolutionary anti-aging breakthrough, one that some experts say could empty the wallets of the cosmetic industry. He said it's almost like Photoshop for your face. You may even be mad after seeing how easy it is to visibly erase your wrinkles from view. Now, his personal clients have actually dubbed this new do-it-yourself technique the age rewinder method because it can take years or even decades off your appearance in under 2 minutes. In light of this amazing breakthrough, Dr. Lake has released a step-by-step video to the public. It's free and uninterrupted, where he outlines exactly how to use this simple solution from home. If this helps even one person look younger or feel more confident, I'll be thrilled knowing I helped, Dr. Lake commented. The video has since gone viral. At first, it was shared by users on Facebook, but since then, it's racked up over 2.3 million views and counting. So far, the comments and feedback have been outstanding, with thousands of women reporting they look decades younger. One viewer even commented, "Best result of anything I've used. I can't believe how well this works. I'll never stop using this. I don't understand how it works, but the results are great. Thank you." So you can find out more about this yourself right now. Go to bhmd1.com/outspoken or click on the link in the description box below. That's bhmd1.com/outspoken. Now, there is one thing Dr. Lake asks from his viewers. If watching this video helps you look and feel younger than you have in years, then please share this video with your friends and loved ones. Together, we have the power to help as many women reclaim a youthful look as possible. So go watch the video right now, bhmd1.com/outspoken, or just click on the link in the description box below. But now, back to the show.
I think a confession for you today that I could very comfortably say is I'm the happiest that I've ever been. And that part, to have a partner and a husband who is just so supportive, and to have healthy kids that are so joyful in the freeness of their life and the safety of their life that we create for them, of all the things that have happened in my life, I never would have imagined getting here at this point. I would feel just so happy and grateful, and I really do. Well, that's amazing.
Oh.
Now, Angela, you say, I don't believe a word of it. It's a huge lie. Why?
Well, it's a huge lie, because if you take one look at Harry, you can see how unhappy he is, and she's very happy. I mean, if she's so happy, surely you want your husband, or what she calls partner, to be happy too. And she's turned him into nothing. I mean, you can't say that that man is doing well. She's not helping him. She doesn't like him to even think about his home. His friends she doesn't like, so he can't be with them. He has to do exactly what she wants. Now, that's not feeling happy. The way she walks, over the picture here, he was sort of pushed out the way. Look, he was going to shake hands. No, look at that face. You think he's happy? But she couldn't care less. That makes her happy. But I don't think she doesn't know exactly what she's doing. She's crushed him down until he'll only do what she says. And I think that's absolutely horrendous thing to do with anyone. And I also think it's horrendous that she doesn't think about her children so that they could see their grandparents on Harry's side, because they've got the titles. They don't see them. She won't let them go to England. She won't go there. Harry's making all this fuss about trying to get protection, but actually, I don't think it's going to make any discussion easy that to bring her and the children over. I think that's cruel. And if she can be happy while that is still going, I think that's awful. Don't you think? Don't you have a guilt? Don't you have something about, well, let's try and meet this royal, or let's try and do this so that we can balance it out for the children? I don't think she's a bit interested. Instead of that, they have to be there ready for her to do her next time making a strawberry jam even better than the one you've just had. You know, it's so selfish, and I don't think you can be happy being selfish. It just doesn't work, because you never get what you want enough. And Meghan is one of those people who never gets it enough. She never gets money enough. She never gets the price of clothes enough. She never gets what she wants, because she's one of those rare people who are never satisfied with what it is. And it's also, I think the whole thing is lie about her fragrance, which she sprays on people, you know, sprays on food. You know, I think this is because they're not selling. And that if she says how wonderful they are, or she said, they create a little bit of magic that we all crave for in our every drive. You know.
Oh my God, Angela, can we look at that, please? We've got to look at this moment. Sorry, I know it's painful, but we've got to. You've got to see it to understand the full madness. So
look, she's nearly crying. She's nearly crying over them.
Exactly.
Crying in happiness.
Exactly. So I'll let you go on, but first we do have to watch it. Okay. I apologize in advance.
No.
And she said flower sprinkles.
Oh my gosh.
Talk about flower sprinkles.
You would think it's like a little fairy if I could just be tossing them around all the time. The obsession that has come with flower sprinkles,
Explain
I was
to
not
this
expecting.
audience who might not have watched the show yet about flower sprinkles.
So I just... of all things to be talking about for Time 100. Let's talk about flower sprinkles. But because I think it speaks to the tiny moments of joy that are so effortless and just create a little bit of magic that we're all craving in our everyday. They're tiny little flower petals that are dried. I started putting them on salads. I started putting them on scrambled eggs. It didn't actually matter. On a yogurt parfait. The level of charm that you find people have when they see these tiny little dried petals is something I can't fully wrap my head around, but I appreciate that there is a love for the detail and the small level of delight that can be added. So take flower sprinkles really as an analogy and think about what you could do in your everyday life that can just have a little splash of magic on unexpected moments.
I mean, was she putting the flower sprinkles in the food of all of the staff that she was bullying so badly that they ended up in rehab? Angela Levin, did they give a damn about her little love language of flower sprinkles? What a joke.
I mean, but to describe that, a bit of dried up rubbish, as a bit of magic, I mean, it makes you absolutely wonder, what is this woman talking about? The only one I was thinking, come on, Angela, think about what she's doing it like that. It's absolutely madness. She looks as if she's discovered the answer to cancer. just, you think, what is it? And then she says that, I think, it's just to sell it better because it's not doing very well. And she's ordered a lot and she makes a huge amount of money from it. So everyone who wants a bit of magic in their life needs to have some of these and sprinkle them on anything they care about. And it just makes me so irritable because it's gives you a tiny moment of joy. What gives you a tiny moment of joy? That if we listen to Meghan, she's so amazing that we know that if we listen to her, we will feel magic. We'll feel absolutely magical. No, you won't. Actually, get in your teeth or, be dried out and you have to have a glass of water to wash it down. It's just nonsense. And it makes me feel very annoyed that she was invited on to give the talk. But I now read that she wasn't invited, she just turned up. Or she told them that she was coming and she was only there for 15 minutes and got out quickly.
Well, it's good publicity for Time, but the point is, they didn't put her on the list. She's not one of the most 100 influential people in the world. Angela, look, I want to ask you, can you believe it's 14 years since this moment when Prince William and Catherine, the Princess of Wales, captivated the world with their kiss on the balcony of Buckingham Palace, and they're sort of doing something public for their wedding anniversary next week? What's happening?
Yeah, they're going to Scotland and the Isle of and they're going to celebrate that there. And I think that it's interesting, really. I think the children will be at school, so they won't miss out on much. And they will go and actually relive how they met at university in Scotland and how they developed, and looking back and see it, how it all happened, and laughing and reliving it, because I think at a certain stage people like to do that, and I think that it'll be very nice to them. They're doing that as well as they're going around and will be talking to people and helping out here and there. And you think, well, why are they doing that together? But actually, what's important to them is that they give as well as get, and the giving is really important, unlike someone we've just been talking about. And they want to do that so they can be helpful and talk to people who are ordinary, who shouldn't be frightened or too much bowing down to them. They just want to be talked to as if they can help and what can make people feel better. Now, that hug is not a Meghan hug, is it? That is a genuine hug from Catherine, who is saying, I know how it has been for you, as far as I can tell you, and be strong because you can get over it. And I think that
and Scotland's a very special place for them, Angela. I mean, look at this picture.
Yes.
This was obviously at university. They met at university, and there's the famous saucy image, wasn't there, of Catherine when she was in that charity modelling show and just stole
that really caught William's eyes. That did.
Yes, and I mean she was totally stunning when you look at her at her graduation.
He did drop her. He did drop her, didn't he? Because he was scared of committing himself to getting married, but it didn't last for long because he knew he couldn't be without her.
But the point is, Scotland is obviously a special part of their love story, Angela.
Very much. Very much. They were away from so many people. They were living very quietly on their own day after day after day. So you really get to know someone. You don't just fly over like Meghan did, once every 3 weeks because of work and then go back the next morning. You can't really get to someone so quickly. So they were so quick about their relationship that Harry didn't find out what she was really like. But I think Catherine and William couldn't know each other better. And you see that even now they seem to fall more in love than ever. I don't want to be all sort of ridiculous about these things, but the way they look at each other and the way they laugh is very, very genuine, and they enjoy being in each other's company for as much as they possibly can, and they enjoy being a family, and it's about everyone, not just me.
And they've been through so much, haven't they, Angela? That's the point. They
Yes.
have been through so much, and it's actually only
Yes.
made them stronger. Well, what a week
Yes.
it has been. Angela Levin, thank you so much. And of course, you'll be back next week. And I do recommend, if you want first access to Angela and I and all of our exclusives that the Royal Rota will not cover, then do sign up. www.outspoken.live. That is my Substack. That is the best way to protect me from big tech cancellation as well. And I would be very grateful too. Angela Levin, thank you so much. We will speak next week. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.